On today's episode, let's go ahead and talk about how this happened.
Oh shit.
The South Carolina Adventure Route, a network of roads that total approximately 1,000 miles. Follow it and you will see mountains, oceans, forests, countryside, state parks, historical sites, and quaint towns, all on a mix of paved and unpaved public roads. I decided to explore the Parkers Ferry portion of the route close to us in Charleston on today's episode. We are Swamp Fox, Overland and Outdoor. I decided I needed a day to myself. Work beat my head in all week and it was time for some trail therapy. What better way than to jump onto the South Carolina Adventure Route to clear my head? I connected with the SCAR outside of Summerville, South Carolina. Situated on a pine forest ridge, it was first inhabited in the late 1700s as Charlestonians and other inhabitants of the South Carolina Low Country sought respite from the summer heat, mosquitoes, and disease. From May to September, plantation families along the Ashley River and other coastal areas headed for higher elevation to live temporarily, or maroon, in the tiny forest colony soon dubbed as Summerville. Other pioneer residents descended from those 1696 Puritans who settled the nearby formal colonial settlement of Dorchester, endowing Summerville with a heritage spanning 3 centuries.
I'm on Old Beach Hill Road now, and have just connected to the South Carolina Adventure Route, and you can definitely tell this is more of a residential area, and state maintenance is not a priority back here, and it should be turning to dirt very shortly here, and we'll be able to connect to the Parkers Ferry section of the SCAR.
Well, I found the dirt. Old Beach Hill Road was right outside of a group of homes on a washboard state road. But I wasn't quite ready for what was in store for me next. Well, I was able to winch out of this. Just a reminder, it's always good to carry recovery gear, and it's probably a better idea to travel with a friend. But I was able to get out and then get on the way.
Oh man, that was almost bad. That is a very large lesson about why you should travel with people, and yeah, bypasses are not a bad thing. This road was real rutted out when we started, and then I saw that puddle, thought it was a little firmer underground because the rest of the ground was pretty solid, and then it just turned into peanut butter, man. Not a good thing, but I'll tell you, thank God for winches. We are now at the Parkers Ferry portion of the SCAR in total, after we had that detour and that bypass that we needed to take. And true to form, the SCAR this far has been roughly 40% off pavement, so I think that makes a lot of sense, but it's starting to get really pretty back here. We're now Parkers Ferry Road. It's gotten a little rougher, but still maintained well enough. A little bit of washboard road, and it's here now. It's not going to be so bad up here.
The Battle of Parkers Ferry was in the American Revolutionary War, in which the Patriot forces were led by Brigadier General Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox. This occurred near Parkers Ferry on August 30th, 1781. They set up an ambuscade to prevent the enemy from advancing. The enemy was caught by surprise and forced to withdraw from Charlestown. Found a tiny little boat ramp and a really cool place to pull over and get some lunch. I wasn't hungry right then, so we'll mark this one for later.
I marked that little campsite for boat landing right next to the Edisto River, and it's really beautiful, and it looks like a really good place to stop for lunch. I'm not hungry yet, so I marked it on Gaia GPS, and I'm going to come back to it, but it looks like there's a couple of different spots along the river there, and it does look like someone's had a fire and been there for a little bit. There's a little bit of trash, so I'm going to go back and pick it up. It's best to leave everything better than you found it. All right, y'all. Right now we are at the Pon Pon Chapel of Ease. I'm very happy that they now allow you to walk in as a pedestrian. I heard tell that during COVID, they were not allowing folks in, and even earlier in 2022, they did not allow you to get past the ropes and get closer because there was a portion of the chapel that collapsed, and they don't want anybody to come here visiting and then, you know, this thing's old. I mean, there's a very good possibility that a part of this chapel could break and fall on somebody. There's obviously this support that now holds the front facade. Probably has something to do with that crumble, but weather does funny things. I can't imagine how beautiful this was in its day. My brother Mason's.
rightfully so. They barred up this well. I think that's what that is. It's so crazy that I had no idea what Chapel of Ease was until I came to Charleston, and apparently it was a chapel that was built closer to the houses that essentially was a satellite from the main church, so that parishioners or the congregation could worship closer to home. The name Pon Pon is a Native American phrase that possibly meant Big Bends, in reference to an early settlement along the Edisto River. Pon Pon Chapel of Ease was one of the two churches serving St. Bartholomew's Parish after the Yamasee War. The chapel's site was located on Parkers Ferry Road, the busy stagecoach thoroughfare that connected Charleston and Savannah. All right, well, welcome to the tomb site of Isaac Hayne. Isaac Hayne took up arms against the British. Hayne was captured. He was released on parole on the pledge of neutrality. When asked to take an oath to support the crown, Hayne refused like a true patriot and fought against the British under General Williamson. Hayne was quickly recaptured and imprisoned at the Provost Dungeon. On August 4th, 1781, he was hanged for treason to make an example of him to the other patriots. One of the better ideas that I've had. Like, got the hammock out and we're sitting next to the river, so that's kind of cool. Just had lunch. It's been a good day. It really was a great idea for the day. The weather was perfect. The wildlife was the music of the day. Sometimes you just need a little bit of time to yourself to reflect. Reflect on the future. Reflect on the past. Sometimes that reflection is just enough to get you back on track to take on the next day. I had plenty of time to remember my roots, breathing in the fresh air, spending the time outdoors. It reminded me of all the things that I appreciated about my upbringing in South Georgia. It also reminded me to appreciate the history that surrounds us and the nature that we don't get to experience every day. It simplifies everything. I did miss sharing this with the others, but that did not change that I enjoyed every minute. Yeah, that includes the winching in the mud. So, I'll leave you with this. Take some time to get outside. Go and explore and re-experience some history. The Scar is a great start. If not there, then go somewhere outside of the norm. It will be everything you need to recharge your batteries. Thank you for watching this episode. If you want to follow our escapades, please like and subscribe, and hit that bell to be reminded that we're out here. Until then, keep it between the ditches, keep all four on the floor, and go out and explore. We are Swamp Fox Overland and Outdoor. Until next time.